Hi guys, it's Daniela again and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to show you my favourite brushes. So like what I use them for. I'm going to talk about my eye brushes and my face brushes. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to talk about my eyes. So I'm literally going to go in order of how I would do my eyes. So I've got a big pot of brushes, as you can see here. But these are the ones that I go to the most. And yes, they're dirty because I literally just filmed this look. So I'm going to talk about my crease brushes first. The first one is the Morphe E23 one, and it looks like this. Obviously it's dirty because I just used it. So this is what it looks like. And this brush is really good for just blending out like any crease colour and just blowing out the colour. So I really like this one. And this is the Elite collection from the Morphe brushes, which to me personally is the better quality collection. Number 2 is also from Morphe, and it's the Morphe M170-10 I, and it looks like this. So this brush I also use just to put colour all over my lid, so just to blend out any crease colour, but to also blow it out. My next brush is from Sigma, and it's the E40 tapered blending brush. So it looks like this. So this one isn't as big as the others. This one is more for like putting colour onto my crease, but not when I want to blow it out as much. So I want to keep the colour just a little bit lower than like my brow bone, if that makes sense. The Sigma one I really like. The quality is quite good. I do find that Sigma is more expensive than Morphe, but then is it better quality? I'm not sure, because this is the only Sigma brush that I have. So far this is really good. I've washed this multiple times and it's not gone like weird. It hasn't shed. So those three are my favourite brushes for like crease work. Okay, so my neck brushes are all very similar in the fact that they're all tapered. They're not as fluffy, they're flatter, but they're rounder. So this kind of brush I usually use to go into my crease and really put colour into my crease. So I've got 3. So the first one is the Morphe M4331, which looks like this. So as you can see, it's a flatter brush, but it rounds off. So this one is really good to put colours into your crease and then flip it and blend them. So like there's a gradual like transition of shades. So I like this one. I also have another one which is very similar to it, but just smaller. So this is both of them. They're the same length in like size of bristles, but this one is bigger and this one is more narrow and straighter, if that makes sense. This one that I'm talking about is the Morphe R39 brush. This one is also really good at putting colours in the crease and then blending it out. I use both of these in exactly the same way. Even though they're a little bit different, I use them in the exact same way. I also like having 2 brushes that are quite similar in case I want to use one for one colour and then another one for another colour. And these 2 haven't lost their shape. I've washed these multiple times and they're still fine. So these next ones are all very just different, but all quite similar. I like using the tapered one, which is the Morphe M412 one, for also crease colour that I just want to put particularly in my crease and just make it really intense in my crease. So I would just put that on and then it blends out. That I really like. It's not like gone weirdly shaped since washing it. So yeah, that's that one. The next one is the Morphe E28, which is very similar to the other ones in the fact that it is round but tapered, less pointy but still tapered. This is another one that I like to use when I'm putting colour into the crease. I also use this one to put colour into my LV and then blend it. You can really use eyeshadows the way you want. Like there's no particular rule as how you use brushes in the sense of like eye brushes. So this one could be used for the crease. I use it on the outer V. I also use it on my lower lash line. I sometimes even highlight my nose with this one. It literally just depends what's clean. The last 2 from that category is the Morphe 518 one, which is this one. So this one is long, tapered and very narrow. So this one is perfect to put colour in and then blend if you want to keep it in a particular place. I know these all sound like they do the same thing, but to me they basically do, but I use them all the time. So this one I really like using to really get into my crease, because this one really gets into my crease. I also like using this one on my lower lash line to blend out colour. So that's that one. My next brush is the Morphe 514 one. It's a blending brush, but it's a very small, Like, it's just very tiny and really fluffy. And it looks like this. This brush is smaller than the other blending brushes. Much more like flimsy, not as dense. So I like using this also for my crease shade or my transition shade. I just like how it blends everything. And my next set are all very similar brushes. So my largest of this set is the Morphe E17 one, which looks like this. So this one is great, honestly, so good to put colour in and blend it out as well. It's much more dense, so it really compacts the colour and puts it where you want it and then blends it out. I also like using this on my lower lash line to really get like a blown out look. This one I love and I use constantly. I need to buy another one. That's how much I use this and really enjoy it. So my next two, so my next brush is the Morphe E18 one. It's similar to the one that I just showed you, but it's smaller and a lot denser. But this one's really good for putting colour in your inner corner, colour on your outer V, and then blending it out a little bit. I really like this. I use it constantly. So my last brush is the Morphe M51 brush. This one I would say is a little bit more scratchy than the others. And this one is a tiny one that I use if I want to do like a smoky black liner. I also use this on my lower lash line to smoke out like a dark brown or a dark black. So it's really good for lower lash line work. So my last eye brushes are these three. So this one is a Morphe E40 and it looks like this. Honestly, I use it for everything. I did my brows with it today. I use this to put colour in my lower lash line and then blend it out a little bit. I love this. You can use gel, you can use creams with this, powders. I've done my whole wing with this before. I really like this. I need to get another one. I've also cut the crease with this before. This is a really good brush to have. My next two brushes are brushes that I use to like pack on colour. So I use this brush, which is an E32 brush, looks like this, to pack on colour onto my lids, like shimmer, glitter. I really like this. This is dense, it washes well, and I really like this. If you need like a good packing brush, I would highly recommend this one. It's the E32. My last one is, I think it's a concealer brush, but I don't use it as a concealer brush. Looks like this. And this is the Morphe M170-10. What a long name. So I use this to cut the crease. I also use this to put shimmer on sometimes. I just wet it with some setting spray and then I will put shimmers on it with it. Really good brush. I do need to get a smaller one for cutting the crease, but so far I've been using this one and I do like it. So that is all my eye brushes and everything, from like crease to transition to shimmer to detail work. That's all of them. So next is face brushes and face tools. So my first tool that I use constantly and will forever use is my beauty blender. This is my second one since buying them. I need to get a new one. There's rips everywhere and it's disgusting. But I did literally just use it for my foundation, concealer and contour. But yeah, beauty blender. I don't know how I did my makeup without one. So that's my first tool. Next is all my face brushes. So for concealer, I either use my beauty blender or I use this brush, which is the E20 one, and it's a pretty good brush. Really dense, keeps the coverage on, doesn't shear it out, and really good for just blending out concealer and blending out powder. So that's my first one. My second one looks destroyed. It doesn't look good, does it? This is the Morphe E6 brush. I absolutely love this for foundation. It depends on the foundation. If it's a sheer or medium coverage, I usually use this foundation brush, but it's destroyed. I don't know if you can tell, but look at it. It's absolutely destroyed. Look, I'm going to show you. I could literally pick out. It's just shedding so much. And this has happened in the last, I'd say like a month probably. I wash my brushes really well. Like I put soap, I'm not rough with them. And this has happened. Yeah, so I need to get a new one, but I don't think I'm going to get the E6 again, because this is £17, which to me is expensive for that to happen. And I'm not sure how long I've had it, but I know I haven't had it too long, maybe a year, max 2. And this has happened. Obviously it's not too bad, like £17 for 2 years. This is the first time this has actually happened to me with a Morphe brush. Like the others have kind of like separated. I've had some shedding, but this is just losing its shape. It's just, yeah, so I'm not happy about this one, to be honest. I still use it, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to use it until it's like literally falling apart. So for setting my face, I either use my beauty blender or I go in with my Real Techniques powder brush, which looks like this. It's a really big fluffy brush. I've had this for years, and this is what I meant by I've had this for years and it's not messed up. But then this one hasn't, but I've had one that's completely fallen apart. So don't think just because it's Real Techniques that it's going to be any better than Morphe. I've had bad experience with one Morphe brush and one Real Techniques brush, so I'm not comparing them at all. So this brush is really good for like powdering your face. So I like that. It's kind of self-explanatory. It says powder brush and it's really good for that. So my next face brushes are all brushes that I use just for all different reasons, sometimes setting, sometimes contouring, literally just depends. So it's these 4 brushes that I'm going to talk about now. So the first brush I'm going to talk about is the Real Techniques contouring brush. So I use this sometimes to contour, to bronze. I also use this to set my under eyes sometimes. I use this in all different ways. But yeah, I really like this brush. It's never let me down, basically. I've washed this multiple times. I've had this for years. Probably had this possibly from like 17, 18. And it's still going strong. So I highly recommend this one. Next brush I'm going to talk about is also Real Techniques. So this is the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. I do not use this for my crease. I find it too dense for my crease. I have used this to put eye primer on, set my concealer, put concealer on. I've used this to blend out my contour. So that's that one. This is another Real Techniques one. This is Real Techniques Setting Brush. This is also a really good one for setting your under eyes. I've also highlighted with it before. I really like this. All my Real Techniques ones I've had before my Morphe ones. I know for a fact because Morphe wasn't really out when I bought the Real Techniques one. And my last one is this one, and this is from Primark. And this one I absolutely love. I use this a lot. They don't have it anymore. So this Primark one, obviously I don't know how much this is, so I think this was like £1. I really like this for like bronzer, contouring, also setting your eyes, blending out your concealer. I sometimes blend my foundation, especially around my mouth, with this. This is a really good brush. Highly recommend if you can find it. It's really good, and it looks like this, by the way. And my highlighting brush, if you watch me, you definitely know it's the Morphe M461 brush, and it looks like this. It is a stippling brush, very small, and it is so good for highlight. I love using this for highlighter. It picks up product, but it blends it out so like seamlessly, so you don't just get a stripe of line. You can really blend it out. Highly recommend this one if you want like a more seamless highlight, like so it's not just like a straight line. As you can see, this was all using this brush. That's on this brush. Okay, so that brush is one of my absolute favorites. So the next brush is from Primark. It is a stippling brush like this, so much more smaller. I love this for blush. This is what I really use for blush. Really good. I think this is like £1. Really like it. I think they still have it in stock, so if you want to get it, it's in stock still. This has not come apart, not at all. Like it's not popped out, nothing of that sort. So yeah, I really like this. Highly recommend this one. This one is my Morphe M530 brush. It looks like this. I use this brush with bronzer to bronze my face. I don't really contour with it because it's a little bit bigger than what I want. Really good brush. Yeah, it hasn't really lost its shape. So my last 2 larger ones are these 2. So this is the Real Techniques blush brush. I love using this for my blusher. I also used to use this a lot for my bronzing. I also set my face with this sometimes. It's just a really good brush and I highly recommend. My last brush is this one. It's a really big stippling brush and it's called Beauty Concepts. I got this from TK Maxx and I've used it. It's not destroyed. It's not shedding, like nothing comes out. I've washed this multiple times. It has not lost its shape. Can't remember how much this was, but I really enjoy using this for bronzer. Really just blends it out really nicely. Highly recommend this if you find this in TK Maxx. So yeah, that's really it. So this is the video where I show you my favorite brushes and tools. I hope you find this useful. If there's any brushes that I use, let me know. If there's any brushes that you think I need, let me know. If there's any brushes that you think Daniela will like it, just let me know. I need to find a good brow brush and some more like detail eye brushes. But yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed it. Give me some comments on what you would like to see from me. Let me know if there's a type of video that you want me to do, because I'll do it. I'll do it, I swear. Anyways guys, I think I'm becoming a bit delirious. I've had this ring light on for like 4 hours. My eyes are starting to burn and I've got a headache. Great. Anyways guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give me a like, give me some comments down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.